So Judge, just procedurally, so on the 11th, Mr. Young was released by Judge Angelini to go to get UA, and essentially told him in open court, if you clean tomorrow, then you're just going back on probation. I'll reinstate you. If you're dirty, then you need to go in someplace. Mr. Young called me from pretrial services. I was on the phone with him. We were trying to talk to somebody there about him doing a UA. Nobody could. They kept saying, we don't have anything from the court, so we had trouble doing that. The next morning, Mr. Young had some food poisoning issues, had been at the doctor's, did not come in, a warrant was issued. And then we just tried to regroup and figure out where to go from here. And so Mr. Young brought himself in voluntarily yesterday. One of the things that we needed to address, that we'd addressed with the court, with Mr. Judge Angelini, is that in May, Mr. Young was having some mental health issues and some kind of mental health emergencies, and that was kind of the reason for the non-compliance in May. I've got his mother here to testify to that.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're diving into a courtroom battle where accountability and second chances collide. From the very start, the stakes are sky high. Prosecutors demand revocation, painting Mr. Young as a man given too many opportunities, while the narrator warns this judge isn't here to play games. What unfolds next is a tense clash of law, mental health struggles, and a family's desperate plea.
And so I'd ask the court for to allow me to bring her up and kind of explain what's going on. Okay.
All right. And can you spell your last name for the court reporter?
Scaer.
Can you explain to the court what was going on with him mentally in May and what our issues were?
He had, looking back, shown signs of depression, but I didn't know that's what it was. He was not eating a lot, not active. He had a lack of energy, in bed a lot, depressed. He was looking for jobs and getting no luck at all.
Okay, let me stop you there. So he was looking for employment, and obviously the biggest issue was his criminal history.
Yes,
okay.
The record.
Right.
Nobody wants to even open the door to him.
Okay. And what effect were you seeing on him mentally?
He, looking back, was completely withdrawing and kind of having a mental breakdown.
What kind of signs did you see of him having a mental breakdown?
Here, the defense takes the floor, setting the stage for a plea to keep Mr. Young on probation. They outline missed drug tests, food poisoning excuses, and a voluntary surrender, trying to show compliance amid chaos. The key move? Calling his mother to testify, hoping her perspective on his mental health will shift the judge's stance. It's a calculated gamble, with everything riding on what she reveals next.
Withdrawn from everybody.
Okay. Well, did you seek out any kind of medical help from at the time?
Yes.
And what kind of mental help did you seek out for him?
I took him Sunday. Friday was when I really noticed something was not right with him. He was kind of talking, saying crazy things, not crazy, but just not appropriate things, not in the here and now. And so on Sunday, he was not sleeping either, not eating, not sleeping. So on Sunday night, I ran him up to a little local ER, Methodist ER in our neighborhood.
Okay.
And they did a history, and not a physical, but just talked to him, this cool doctor from Austin, and said, well, maybe you just need to get some sleep. And I was very shocked at the lack of care or concern, but of course I'm his mother.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, let me give you something to sleep. So he gave him one Ativan, and by the time we got to the car, he was relaxed, and he slept that night.
Yeah.
Monday morning, he woke up and became very agitated and talking out of his mind and not eating and just not himself. So then that went on Monday. Monday, we came down to see you.
Yes.
Because I knew he had court Tuesday, and I knew he couldn't do it. He wasn't sleeping. He couldn't get dressed. he was a mess. So Tuesday, I took him back. I went to a Stone Oak Methodist Hospital ER,
Okay.
and we waited for hours. And kind of the same thing, a little bit more concerned, but not much. And we sat in a room for hours, and the doctor did do some blood work. No blood work, did a urinalysis. And then they gave him something, and it made him much worse, much more agitated. At that time, they called in a Bexar County, I guess, policeman or sheriff. I'm not sure who he was, but he was very kind. And he talked to Austin and said, you know, they don't have the facilities here. They don't treat psychiatric patients, but we can just take you in the ER and the ambulance straight over to Methodist Specialty where they can help you.
Okay, and let me stop you. And so was he taken over to Methodist Specialty?
No.
Okay.
He said, no, I'm fine. He said, I'm fine. I said, no. I looked at the policeman. I said, no, he's not. And he said, well, we can't force him to go, and you can't either. He's an adult. So they gave him something, made him. Oh, I said, he's got to have something to sleep. I can't take him home. He's pacing the floors 24/7. So they gave him one more Ativan, and I said, could you please write him a prescription for just 2 or 3 until we can get to see a doctor? And she said, no, you have to go to Methodist Specialty. We are not a psychiatric hospital.
Mr. Young's mother begins her testimony, painting a raw and personal picture of her son's downward spiral. She recalls his depression, isolation, and inability to secure work because of his criminal record. Her words highlight not just failure to comply, but a man unraveling under invisible weight. As she details emergency room visits and doctors brushing off warning signs, the courtroom absorbs a chilling narrative of neglect.
Okay, let me stop you there. And it's kind of subsequent to that is when we started coming to court, and we've had these, the issues with the warrant, those sorts of things.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and then
And so,
that's yet to come.
okay. Now, had you ever noticed him have kind of a psychological breakdown like that before?
Yes, once before
And when was that?
in high school.
And what were the circumstances of that?
He was having a very difficult time getting through a math class that was required for graduation. He had lots of learning disabilities, and he was being bullied, and all of a sudden just stopped eating, wouldn't go to school, completely shut down.
Okay. And the situation seems to be kind of consistent with that.
Yes, but the pediatrician at that point helped us and gave us something to get him through it. And with the principal's help and the special education department's help, we were able to get him out of the high school and into a alternative school to finish his requirements to graduate early.
Okay.
The mother's account grows darker. Sleepless nights, agitation, police involvement, and hospital staff refusing to commit him without consent. Despite visible breakdowns, Mr. Young insists he's fine and the system's hands are tied. Her desperation is palpable as she pleads for real psychiatric help. By the time the judge cuts in, it's clear this isn't just about probation. It's about a man slipping through the cracks.
And so these are the issues that he's been having for the past several months, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of it is the fact that he's trying to move forward, and he's kind of running into roadblocks every chance.
Yes, he can't. He's getting through his probation pretty well in his recovery program, but he can't be a productive young man. He cannot get a job.
And you see the stress that puts on him.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I mean, one day he said, Mom, there's no hope for me. I might as well just end my life.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
Briefly, Your Honor. Hello, Mrs. Chung. You stated you observed these types of signs prior to May 25. Is that correct?
Yes.
Approximately what year was the high school incident?
Oh, when he was, I guess about 18.
And he is how old now?
I'm sorry?
How old is your son now?
39.
So how many years would that have been? About more than 10?
Yeah.
Okay. To your knowledge, did Mr. Young ever acknowledge these signs that you observed in him?
Did he acknowledge?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
He said, Mom, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine.
And is that in both 2025 and when he was in high school?
I don't remember high school.
Okay. To your knowledge, did Mr. Young inform his probation officer of these issues he was having?
Yes.
Okay.
He talked to him numerous times about the issues of employment. He said told him to go to Goodwill.
Mm-hmm. But I'm speaking of the mental health.
Oh, yes. I think so. And he discussed, maybe he informed him that he was on an antidepressant.
Mm-hmm. But you're not positive of that?
Linking present troubles to the past. The mother recalls a high school breakdown where bullying and learning struggles pushed him to shut down completely. The pattern, she insists, has always been there. The courtroom grows tense when she reveals his chilling words. Mom, there's no hope for me. I might as well just end my life. In that moment, this case stops being procedural and becomes painfully human.
Or you are?
No, I'm not.
Were you aware of Mr. Young being on probation?
Yes.
Yes. Were you aware that one of his conditions is to submit to drug testing?
Yes.
Were you aware that he violated that condition?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that the best way for someone to learn a lesson is to take accountability for their actions?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
And just very briefly, Austin still is on a alcohol monitoring device, correct?
Yes.
And he's on probation for DWI. He does not drive anymore.
No, does not have a car and does not drive anywhere.
Okay, so he gets rides or Ubers or walks.
Me.
Right. Thank you. And so, to the best of your knowledge, he is not picking up new offenses, correct?
No.
And to the best of your knowledge, he's reporting to probation.
Yes. I know that he missed one time on a Thursday afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. That's witness.
All right, thank you so much for coming down. Thank you. All right, so here's the court's issues.
Yeah.
One, this is not his first motion to revoke,
Correct.
and it's not his first motion to revoke for violation of condition number 2. And it seems every time there is an issue with probation or there is a potential revocation, he doesn't show for court. And something else has popped up where he can't show. And it appears that his issues are the consequences. So I don't know if there's a reason to continue him on probation, because I don't know if there's anything that we can do to help him.
Judge, I'd like him to do UA today if the court would do that. I would, obviously there's some mental health issues. Obviously he's struggling, but I think that the main...
The prosecution presses the mother, trying to poke holes in her account. Did he admit his struggles? Did he tell probation? Wasn't he still violating rules he understood? Each question pulls the narrative back toward accountability. She stands firm but concedes uncertainty. The judge thanks her, and her testimony ends, leaving a stark divide: compassion for his condition versus the law's demand for responsibility.
There's a lot of things that we ask people to do on probation, but I think the two main things we ask them to do is not break the law anymore and to report and allow themselves to be supervised. And he certainly has been doing both of those things. Our biggest issue when we get DWIs in felony court is the fact that it's not your first DWI.
Mm-hmm.
By definition, it's not. And if you're willing to get 3 DWIs, then, there's an issue. And I think that the most, important thing he's done for accountability is just decide never to drive again. And that's good. That keeps the community safe. So the issue now becomes, how much work do we want to put into him, right? Because, we've got some compliance here, and I think we've got substantial compliance. But if our question is how much more help can we give him, I think that we can. I think that he benefits from the structure. I think he benefits from the supervision. I think he allows himself to be supervised. But, it's not easy to be on probation. It's not easy in this society to have a criminal history because you don't get the same chances other people do. And I'd ask the court to consider a sanction other than revocation. I'd ask the court to consider There's a recommendation for state ISF cognitive track.
Hasn't he been in a facility
I think
before?
he's been to SATF before, but we're talking about some cognitive skills. And the main thing is we need to put him in a position to work. And I think like with most people, if he's working, we're not going to have problems with him showing up to court. We're not going to have problems with him showing up to probation. If he's working and he's productive, I think that we're going to get, if not perfect compliance, then pretty close to it. Because he's not a person who is out breaking the law more. He's not a person who is refusing to go to probation. In fact, as the court knows, he came in yesterday. He knew he had a warrant. He knew he had missed. He knew this was an issue. And it's not like he went ahead and hid out until he got picked up. He came in to take accountability, to go head on and face his actions. And we know that this court is really good about trying to craft conditions of probation that help a person be successful. And so I'm asking the court to consider that in this case.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the state echoes the court sentiment that this is not the first MTR or violation of condition number 2. There is consistency in failing to take accountability. We'd ask that you'd grant the state's recommendation to revoke. Mr. Young was given opportunities to comply with probation and take full accountability, but we would urge that partial accountability is insufficient here. He was explained his conditions of probation, and he has shown that through his actions in subsequent violations and then subsequent FTAs on 9/12 and 9/23 that he's still not taking accountability for his actions. So we'd ask that you grant the revocation.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to revoke. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, 2-year license suspension. Our request is therapeutic community. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent.
Now the judge voices frustration, noting repeated violations and a cycle of excuses. The defense counters passionately, stressing his sobriety, voluntary surrender, and need for support instead of prison. They argue he benefits from structure and could succeed if given a fair chance at work. It's a striking tug of war. Is Mr. Young a man in need of help or a repeat offender out of chances?
I'll give him credit for any successful completion in inpatient treatment.
Okay.
And let me see. All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
The form that we signed when Judge Angelini was here, did you review that form with me when you signed it?
It's the form telling you whether or not you have a right to appeal. You do have a right to, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on community supervision. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you can speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So we can go off the record. So, Mr. Young, it's just that the court has worked with you by giving you inpatient treatment and giving you different treatments to try to help you. But at some point, there is nothing else that I can do. I don't have any more tools. It's sad that the legislature doesn't have more to offer, but I have what I have, and that's it. So you'll receive the credit for any time that you've served, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you allow him to say anything to the court right now?
I'm sorry?
Judge, would you allow him to say anything to the court right now?
Sure.
You want to say something, Judge?
I don't know what to say, Liz. I'm shocked. I've done everything. I've finished all my probation stuff. I was just waiting for my, my probation to be finished. I've done all my classes, paid my fine. I had done everything. The only reason I had another MTR is that we had lost the monitor and I couldn't afford to pay the $3,500. And you gave me this
So
thing
here's the
for
problem.
90 days, and it's been
This is
over
the
a
problem.
year.
This is the problem that you're not understanding. You had a violation of condition number 2 previously with the court. You pled true to it. I found it true. And I gave you conditions to address that violation. And then you come back and you have the same violations. So when you have the same violations, which were violations of condition number 2, we have nothing else. Thank you, counsel. Yes. Are you here?
The state pushes back hard, insisting partial accountability is insufficient. The hammer soon falls. Probation revoked, 3 years in prison, fines, and license suspension. The judge laments limited tools to help, but says there's nothing left. Mr. Young pleads, shocked and disbelieving, insisting he's complied. Yet the judge reminds him of repeat violations. The gavel comes down, a dramatic end to a painful courtroom saga.